Hi! So we're back with match number 25 for Bryan Danielson's AEW run. This match is another tag team match with Jon Moxley and William Regal on commentary against Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. with Julia Hart outside the ring. They have a name. I think it's I don't know. I forget the name. Does it matter? Who gives a shit? This match is very short. It's very much, again, just to exist, frankly, set up a promo after it, which does happen, but also just to basically showcase Bryan and Moxley as just a sick-ass tag team, which they are. They don't barely have much to do. The only, like, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? You know what I mean? Like, fucking dumb. Like, what I like about it is they're really trying to push Brian Pillman for some reason, and he fucking sucks. But then, fucking Griff Garrison, even though he's ass, does, like, better. Like, he does a drop kick and some shit, and, like, there's not really much for the other two to do. They both have, like, slapped and chopping, punching, striking, basically, spots, and there's not much to go off of. Like, there's a point where Griff Garrison's got him, Moxley in the corner, he's trying to, like, sell, like, you know, betray him, punch and body shots like Moxley does. Just isn't believable. I mean, there's a point where Brian Pillman's slapping Bryan doing chops, and it's like one of them's loud, and you can tell they connect. It's just there's not enough oomph in it. You know what I mean? It just shows you how night and day these wrestlers are compared to Moxley and Bryan. But that's kind of the point. I love Moxley and Bryan's dynamic because they are just still two singles guys in a tag, and it's just bullying people. Like, there's points where like, Bryan's holding one of them back, and Moxley comes in and he just smacks the shit out of him. Moxley does a lot of it. I love Jon Moxley, bro. It's so good. I love this tag pairing. I really do. What I love about it, one thing I love in the match is obviously Moxley's basic lariat, and then the main thing I love is the finish. I adore the finish where they both, because they're both, like, at the start they basically rush them, and then it kind of just goes, we're just going to bully them. You know what I mean? That's what I like about them. They're both very brutal, and that's what you need to have, because that's the basic bond that they share. And the finish is phenomenal, because they're both in the ring, and then Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman are in the ring. Brian Pillman Jr. very, very clear distinction. And Brian's kicking, I think Brian's kicking Griff Garrison's head in, and then Moxley's just doing the bulldog choke, and it's like, Jesus. Like, they're both just doing their finishes on them, and I'm like, that is the way. That is easily the thing they had to do here, and I love that they kind of did that, because, again, one, I like the fact that they're being portrayed as a tag, but clearly two singles guys. But two, both of their finishes, especially the kick in the head in, and Moxley just in general, is so brutal. It sums up what they are very perfectly. I think it's Brian Pillman taps out to Moxley, but it is definitely to Moxley. Obviously, Bryan and Moxley get the win. Regal comes down in the ring, and then Moxley has the mic this time. Moxley cuts a promo saying, I had to prove myself to Regal, because he's the only man I ever gave, you know, I've only ever cared about one man's opinion, and that's William Regal. And I had to fight for that, I had to fight for that Blackpool badge. I'm like, that's a cool line. We all know where it's going. And then he just basically puts Regal over a lot, saying that man's, like, you know, one of the best ever. And he goes, and also team me up with the perfect wrestler, Bryan Danielson. It's like, yes, you're right. And then he basically goes on to confirm, like, basically confronts everyone via the mic, saying, anyone who wants to come up to us will have to, wants to join us will have to learn. It's only the hard way. If you want a badge of honor from the Blackpool Combat Club, such a good, I fucking love the name. I forever will. It's one of the best factions ever. But the Blackpool Combat Club is born, and it's basically step up or be stepped on. And I love that mentality. I love how that fits for Moxley, obviously Bryan. So it just they nailed it with this. Even back then, you could just tell it was magic. The match is not really something to write home about. It's very much another showcase, but I love Mox and Bryan in a tag. I mean, Griff Garrison has the odd drop kick that's actually not that bad. Brian Pillman's not really that great. But Regal not getting any mic time, and Bryan not getting any mic time is a bit like, But either way, I thought Yuta was going to run out, but he doesn't. But either way, that's basically it. It was a solid showing for Moxley and Bryan. I'm never going to deny that. It just still hits. Even to this day, it still hurts watching them. It's like, I enjoy this a lot. I know the ending. This is brutal. That's what I hate. But either way, solid just to see them tagging. The match was fine. It's forgettable. but you're going to get these. But either way, it's just nice to see these two. There's always something positive to take away from a Bryan match. That's what I'm trying to learn and teach everyone in a way. But it's like, it's just... You can only be as good as what's in front of you, right? And, like, as much as Bryan and Moxley do a lot of great things, that's what they're there for. You can just, like, again, that punching spot, this thing grabbed me, but the Death Riders, the Paradigm Shift by Moxley, by the way, brutal. Love that shit. But either way, it's just nice to see them tagging. That's what I like. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Bryan and Moxley versus Brian Pillman and who the fuck's Griff Garrison. I was going to mention something about Julia Hart. Doesn't really need to be mentioned. It's just like she's going through the whole being sprayed in the eye thing with the mist, so that's who to blame. But what's your thoughts on this match? What's your thoughts on Bryan and Moxley team? What's your thoughts on all of this? And let me know what your thoughts are on Bryan, because I like to know.